What's happening, guys? We are back on the Manx build today, and I am in a new place, as you can tell. You can see some cool buses behind us. We're at Murco Limited with our buddy Jason from Murco, and he's going to help us put together the front end for our Manx beam. So I'm going to take the camera from him, and we're going to follow along as he builds this front end for us. So let's do it. Here's Jason. You guys will remember Jason from a couple days ago when we started pulling the pan apart. Now we're at his shop, and we're going to be putting together this beam. So I brought Jason new set of spindles and carriers because we're going link pin on this one. And of course, they don't just fall together, do they, dude?
Never, never.
So you have to put them together. So we're going to follow Jay along as he puts these together for us.
Okay, so today, typically with the bushings, I got a tapered end, and we're going to press these in today. I just put a little grease on them, drop them in before I put them in the press, and then kind of rotate them a little bit. And then we're going to press these guys in and ream them to fit with the Volkswagen issue proper reamer for the right size.
You got to have that.
And we're going to go from there.
Sweet, dude. So I guess you're just going to jump over to the press and we'll follow along.
We got our bushings pressed in. Now we're going to bring them over here. We're going to slot this little clearance piece for the grease cap.
Yep.
And then we're going to ream both bushings together with our VW reamer.
Nice. Okay, let's do that.
Now this is an old reamer.
So this is what, now that you got those bushings in there, you can't just slide a kingpin through it. You have to actually ream them out to the proper sizing.
Yeah, so this will be the exact size as the pin itself.
So that's a Volkswagen spec
It's
reamer.
a Volkswagen spec reamer, old school, man. KD, it's a KD brand from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's an American-made tool.
Yeah.
So you can take that, and then you're just gonna go right down the throat of this thing and ream out those bushings.
And it has its own guide, so it'll guide it to the next, and then you walk it through. Some people set them up in a lathe, some people, I just take my time, run it with a wrench. You can run it with a crescent wrench. We're not building rocket ships.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it reamed to fit, double check it, clean it, blow it out, a little bit of carb cleaner, make sure there's no shavings, and then we'll get to pressing it back together.
Right. Well, let's do the reaming then, dude. I'm gonna leave it to you. All right, Jason, so you just finished reaming it, so now I see you got the kingpin. So what's the next step, man?
So what I usually do is literally just set the kingpin in to check clearance and make sure there's no issue.
So you're looking
Just
for
know
like
that
smooth rotation.
Smooth rotation, not that it rotates a lot, obviously. It just goes back and forth, barely a half inch. But just so you know, there's no tick tock.
So it's nice and tight on there.
Yeah, and that's bitching. Now we can press it all together.
Oh, cool. Okay. Obviously, you can't just press them together. You got to use these little washer stacks. So show me what you got there, dude.
So typically on these, they come with a fiber washer, which goes inside the grease casing. With this one, there's a little bit of a gap. You can go with the gap. It's not that big of a deal. But me, I like it to be set up really, really a little more spec. So I use a simple washer. Some people, you can use machine bushing, but all the pressure's going upward. So that's ample. And then this guy's going to sit in here.
Right where you notched it out, that's how that lines up.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to take your spindle and it should just slide right in like that.
Now we're going to take it over to the press and press the kingpin in. As usual, put a little grease on it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be pushing dry on dry, right?
Get these babies to line up. There you go. So we're going to get it pressed up to the top of the knuckle, and then we'll use a pin
To push it the rest of the way
press it.
through.
Yeah. And I always check it just
to make sure it's
because.
free, right?
Just because, yeah. It's really easy to press these a little too hard, and then regardless of flex or not, there's all kinds of theories that it tightens it up just that much because they're not quite shimmed right, and then you're battling it. It's you got no return on the steering and everything like that, no matter how much you lube them. So always double check them as
sure
you're pressing
that
them
it's free.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Okay. Now you got your little drift. You're gonna push the rest of the way through.
Your drift? What are you talking about?
That's come on now.
I don't even know what that called. What's a drift? What are you talking about?
What do you call it?
I call it an extra piece of metal to push the other piece of metal into the spindle.
Isn't there a technical term for that?
Probably.
Do hit heat.
You're asking the wrong guy. I've been doing this too long to use technical terms. Check clearance. We're good.
And you want to take that just down to the base of that opening so that you
Correct.
can get your link pin
Bushing
through there.
It's just a boop. There it is.
And that's it. How does it rotate, dude?
Rotates bitchin', no tick, no slop, no up and down.
See?
Now we know the steering's going to be tight.
So, done right. Now we got one more. Now.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, we made sure there's no metal shavings in here from pressing, any debris. That's all clean and dialed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our link pin bushings, and I like to chamfer the edge just ever so slightly, just around this edge, just so that when you drop it in, it helps pre-center it for you. The other kicker is you're going to want to line up your grease fitting hole roughly within the same line as your Zerk fitting hole.
Oh yeah.
It helps to make sure that grease gets down that.
That pathway.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to chamfer these real quick on the disc grinder and then get these babies pressed in.
Right on, dude. Rad. Now you're gonna throw a little grease on them.
Yep. Yeah, so kind of the usual scene. Just kind of grab a little bit around the edge. Just a little bit. I'm gonna take them over, get them set up.
So this one's already chucked up in the.
Yeah. So my Zerk fitting hole's over here.
Yep.
So I'm gonna line him up. Again, it's not required, but it's better.
And do it right. Let's do it right.
Now you can do these in a vise, believe it or not, with a hammer. And that's fine.
This makes it a little easier though. Without a
Yes,
press.
yeah, we just kind of just take a little more time lining it up's the fun part. Usually they self-center pretty well, and then they're just going to walk in there for you.
Just like that.
Now you notice there's no shavings. That means we got it lined up pretty sweet.
That's good.
Chamfering
And you
does
just
help.
drop it down until it's flush with the recess portion. in it.
Correct.
Like that. All right, 3 more. Good, so now we're gonna get the beam up and put the spindles on.
Get this dude in here. So what we got to do now, we're going to measure our arm offset. That'll determine our shimming so that we get the alignment correct when the spindle and link pins are on.
This is, I think, the part that most people don't realize. You have to actually do some measurements. You can't just stick the
Spindle
on there, yeah.
Right?
So we're gonna watch you do that.
Okay. Split you guys up.
So what do you have laid out here?
So what we're laying out is the shims. So they stack. So you're gonna stack the shims front and back of the link pins, and that's gonna determine your caster camber. Mm-hmm. And then you get the old shim chart. You can find it online. I just happen to have one printed because we do this a lot.
That gives you kind of the idea.
It'll give you, it's so straightforward, man. It's like you find your offset based on here, which is the offset, and you measure it in millimeters. And then you head over here and you're like, okay, if it's 5, I'm going to do 3 shims on the inside, 7 on the outside for the upper torsion arm, and then I'm going to do 7 and 3. It's the opposite. It keeps it pitching. So we're going to measure our offset and then shim our spindles.
Sweet. So you do that with a straight edge?
Straight edge on the bottom arm. And then you're going to run your little measurement tool right underneath. Right now it looks like I'm at 7. Mm-hmm. Let me line that up. So 7's an easy number. Let's check our other side.
Okay.
Usually if the front end's all stock and not been messed with, it'll be fine. Or if the arm's not bent, it'll also be fine.
Okay, well, let's cross our fingers.
Every once in a while we get a discrepancy. Let me get my guy in here. So this one's a little different. This one's a 5. So we got a slight difference, which is just fine. So we shim accordingly. 7 on the right.
5 on the left.
5 on the left. No big deal. Second pin, 5 on the end. Then we're going to get our spindles in the right spot.
So spacing is 5 and 5. 5 inside, 5 outside on this side.
Correct. Over here, so let's get rid of him. Over there. Set our spindle up. Let's get a little bit of grease. It keeps the shims from jumping around while you're trying to put it together. Mm-hmm. So I just run a little bit like that.
Kind of holds them.
Mm-hmm. A little bit like that.
So you've only done this once before, right?
Yeah, once 1,000.
It's kind of the beauty of a lot of the guys in the industry. Like, you've been doing this for probably, what, 30 years?
30 now. Yeah, coming on. Actually, yeah, this year coming on 30.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's good stuff.
It's funny, a lot of the guys that we deal with, you know, like Frank that builds our motors, have been building motors for 30 years. Mm-hmm. You've been doing suspension since suspension was kind of being modified on these cars.
Oh, yeah, butcher shop days.
Yeah.
Butcher shop days. So yeah, so mid-90s.
I mean, when you did, what was it, the Speedwell bus? Mm-hmm. Probably the first bus you did with a narrowed beam. What was that, maybe 95, 96 maybe?
I think so.
I mean, it was
I've lost track.
Yeah.
It's been so long, bro.
I mean, it's really that was one of the first buses. I mean, other than Money Mike's bus that George did, that was one of the first ones I saw with a narrowed beam, I think, really.
Well, it was George. Really, it was George who inspired me to go that far.
Yeah. I think that was sort of true for a lot of guys. As they saw that, and that was kind of blowing some minds when that bus came out.
Yeah, I showed up to a Pomona when I was just getting into it in like 93. Mm-hmm. And what do you call it? And George was there with the Judson bus.
Yeah, and the Judson panel, I remember.
I just lost my mind.
I think everybody did.
I was like, that's it. That's it. That's where I need to be. That's what I need to do. And then
is that when you started to put together the first Speedwell bus?
Yeah, and actually I bought that one. Yeah, I bought that one in Texas. Setting up our pins, put a little grease, just to keep everything going.
And those already have the shims on them.
Yeah, already set at 5. And then we'll put our back ones on the back at 5. Got 5 at the back. And put a little grease at the back right there. Keep them from jumping out as you're putting them on. 5 on that guy. Now these ones are the slightly later, like I believe it's 63 and older. So they use these guys. Mm-hmm. So you're going to want to put
your little rubber seal.
Yep. Past you. this one. Come on, buddy. There we go. And then these guys have a little notch. That's going to line up with the notch
right there
on your trailing arm. So as you're putting them on, I kind of watch them a little bit, maybe get a sharp-ended screwdriver or something like that, or a little pick.
Slide it through and line it up, basically.
Yeah, and the grease helps. You just kind of make sure.
Yeah, it helps it slide through.
Yep. So now let me get a pick and we'll line up those nubs.
Okay.
This is a highly technical, high-dollar pick. It's called a retired test light from Harbor Freight.
See, it has a use after it dies as a test light.
You gotta, man. You gotta. And then we'll get our... That one's lining up. This one needs to
Needs to move a little bit.
Just a skosh. There you go. And then we're going to rotate our link pins so that our keeper aligns up with our bolts.
That's what keeps them from popping out.
Yep.
So your spindle doesn't come off when you're going down the road.
That could be fun.
I can't say that's ever happened to me. But then again, you've built all my spindles, so.
Well, I had a ball joint break on a car once when I was on the 101.
Oh, nightmare.
That was pretty. That was an interesting day. You sight down there, you'll see.
Yep.
And then you just did flats and okay, gotcha.
Fresh hardware.
So what I usually do, recommend, don't snug your pin down yet because it's going to want to push the bolt out. So I just kind of hand snug this guy, then you know he's not going to bail on both. And then you're going to rotate the pin snug. You don't want it cranked down because then the arm and this guy are going to be too tight. They're not going to want to move. It's going to be really stiff.
You're trying to avoid it binding.
You don't want it to bind. That's a technical term, you're right. So you turn your pin until it snugs down. So they're snug, so I back it out just a skosh. They're snug, back it down just a little bit. And then you know it's not going to ride tight. These are 17 to 17. We're going to sug these guys down, and then it's time for brakes.
Nice. All right, it looks like it's assembled now. We got freshly built spindles by Mr. Jason over here. So, what do you think?
We're all set on caster camber. Obviously, toe in, toe out is going to be determined once the car's put together and the steering box is on. But nice fresh parts from MP, forged carriers. You know, Zerks are fresh, hardware's fresh. It's just nice to build stuff clean and
fresh
ready to
and
go.
new, especially
Yeah.
with the beam now too. That's all fresh, and
Yeah,
obviously, once the chassis is done, this is going to go right on it. And the days are ticking away, man. I got to get this thing back, and we're going to be seeing you real soon.
Well, let's get it in your truck. Get the heck out of here.
All right, man. Thanks
Okay,
for
man.
all the help today, Jason.
Yeah, bro, anytime.